Welcome back. We are live in Boise, Idaho tonight. He served a mission and was also married in the temple. She was once a primary president for her local ward. So how in the world do Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow go from seemingly mainstream members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to now on trial for murdering 2 children? We caught up with some scholars who tell us religious radicalism can be a slippery slope, and it starts very small.
I had a great mission. I just felt like his was extraordinary.
Extraordinary, fitting for a man who claimed 2 near-death experiences left him living on the edge of heaven with a special connection to the spirit world.
She worked in the primary and she was so good with all the kids.
Friends telling police Lori Vallow's long-held Latter-day Saint beliefs changed dramatically after meeting Chad Daybell.
It just seems like she kind of lost it.
Daybell's doomsday fiction novels took him to prepper conferences where, for some people, preparations for the end of times mixed with prophecies and visions for the future.
Lori kind of pulled me aside and started saying a few things that were not, like, according to the LDS faith.
She believed in the end of the world and that everyone was going to die, and she was preparing for it.
From the earliest days of the church, there's always been tremendous internal diversity with people having their own beliefs and practices.
Patrick Mason, chair of Mormon history and culture at Utah State University, tells us sometimes these offshoots leave the church completely. Others stay quietly inside. They may be going to church every single Sunday. The person who's sitting in the pew right next to me, I think they are thinking the exact same way I am, but they could be thinking in this completely different direction.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there's a recognition that, okay, some of this stuff may not play very well in church on Sundays. And so that's why some of these other outlets, whether it be online, in-person gatherings, conferences that people have, oftentimes these ideas play out in those other venues.
And it did with Chad and Lori's beliefs through books, blogs, and podcasts. Like-minded followers believe that they were living a higher law.
Which she believes she had the patriarchal power.
These different groups, they feel like they have additional knowledge, right? But we have special knowledge, or we have access to new information that God has given us, or to the way that we interpret Scripture.
So at what point does it turn dangerous?
We know from court records and other things that, there was a baseline of mainstream LDS belief, but then they were getting ideas from other places, reading other books that are in online forums, and then they assimilate these things. And it looks like Chad and Lori were putting together some of these ideas in really unique and distinctive ways.
Court documents detail Vallow's belief that she had been reincarnated multiple times, married to Book of Mormon prophet Moroni, and unable to die.
Satan was ramping up his powers, and their evil was just so pervasive in this world, and that it was her job. She was responsible for casting out these zombies.
Before his death, Lori's 4th husband, Charles, begged police for help, saying his wife Lori believed that he was somebody else.
I will kill you because you're not Charles, and nobody will care.
Happy birthday, dear JJ.
She had said that he had turned into a zombie.
Kylie also had these dark spirits that were trying to control her.
She would say things about the end of the world and about driving off a cliff with the kids.
When those ideas turn into the idea that they need to take out other people, when they need to commit violence against other people, that's when those ideas become dangerous.
As a story like this gets national, maybe even world attention, what does this do with the connection to what they are accused of doing and what their radical beliefs are, and how that ties back to the church?
We know, especially from recent reporting, that there's a really large percentage of Americans who have never even met a Latter-day Saint. They don't personally know one. And so their knowledge and their understanding of the religion is pretty shallow. What they know about the religion is what they see on TV. They don't know enough about the religion to make these fine distinctions between what is mainstream versus what is more extreme. It's easier for them to conflate the extreme with the majority of people who live good, decent lives.
And Lori's religious beliefs expected to play a big role in this, especially early on as we begin jury selection tomorrow morning. We're going to be here 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when the doors open and things begin. KSL will be here throughout the whole thing, but as you probably know by now, We're not going to have a live stream in there. We won't be able to have cameras. That's because of the judge. But KSL will have you covered with live reports from court every day. We'll have it on air. We'll have it online as well. And join us tomorrow for a special report from Boise at 6:30 at night, getting you all caught up on just how we got here before opening arguments get underway. With that, Dan, Debbie, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, big week ahead there. Thanks a lot. Mike Hedrick live for us there in Boise, Idaho tonight.